Over the years, I've tried my fair share of alternative handlebars. Some look pretty similar to your typical flat or drop bars, while others look like you just figured out how to weld a bunch of tubes together. For the past couple of months, I've been testing out a bar that definitely falls on the wilder end of that spectrum, the Wren Perseverance bar. With a giant loop on the front, this bar is definitely a head turner, and in this video, I'm going to tell you what I think of it. The Perseverance bar comes in two different options, flat bar and drop bar. I've been running them on a Salsa Cutthroat, and while that is technically a drop bar bike, I already had it set up with flat bar components, so I asked Wren to send that version over instead. At its core, the Perseverance flat bar is a 780mm flat bar that's moderately swept back and has 25mm of rise. By itself, that's neither enduro ready or even alt bar worthy, but I have found it to be a surprisingly good middle ground. It has just the right amount of backsweep to be more comfortable than most mountain bike bars, but not so much that things feel weird or different on the trail. If you're not wanting to lose the mountain bike feel, this bar may be a good fit. Where the Perseverance bar stands out though, is the big ol' loop on the front. It's 300mm wide at the base, and it extends out 250mm while both tapering and rising 70mm at the end. You may be thinking it looks like permanent aero bars, and in one way, you'd be right. Wren even sells their own armrests to mount so you can get into the classic aero position used in time trials and triathlons. I've never tried this position for more than one reason, but as I've been trying it with this bar, I will admit I really like it. I live somewhere notoriously windy, so it's nice to be able to tuck in out of the headwind that is somehow there no matter the direction I'm headed. But that's not what sold me on this position. With the armrests, you can put all your weight on your forearms and, like magic, your hands and shoulders and anything else that might be achy suddenly get a break. The rise on the end is also at a really good angle, so your wrists are in a very natural position. With your forearms down and your hands holding on out front, it's surprisingly easy to turn and retain that feeling of control. You're definitely now more bent over, but because you're also so far forward, it doesn't feel as hunched over like when you're using the drops. I used to think people in triathlons had to be uncomfortable sitting in that position for so long, but now I'm pretty sure I was wrong. For me though, it's not about a speed advantage, it's all about that comfort. The loop is also a great spot to mount a pack, devices, and lights while on a big bike packing or touring trip. There's plenty of real estate, and you obviously don't need to fill it all, but it gives you enough space to get it set up exactly how you'd like. The elevated point of the loop also gives a perfect spot to mount a light that's out of the way and not blocked by bags or anything. On the other side of things, the loop can be a bit distracting at first. It sticks out about 10 inches and rises up a few, so it's always there in your field of view. Some people might not be able to handle that, especially if they're just out on local rides, but I got used to it pretty fast and don't really notice it anymore. The bars are also fairly heavy despite being alloy. They come in at 754 grams, which is even heavier than the steel Surly Moloko bars and a half-pound heavier than the Jones Loop budded bars. The weight doesn't bother me at all, and I don't think it will most people who are already throwing a whole bunch of stuff on their bike anyway, but I know it'll be a deal breaker for many people, and that it might also be the case with the goldish bronze color, but I think it looks pretty sweet. To be honest, I like these bars way more than I thought I would. It's comfortable in the standard position while still giving you all of the confidence and control you need when things get steep, fast, or technical. It feels like a mountain bike. The loop, though, is useful for mounting stuff and provides another hand and body position that's really comfortable. I think some people might say this is just a glorified flat bar with inner mounted bar ends, and while that setup may have inspired the design, I think Wren made it better. I've put a link in the description for these bars if you want to go check them out on Wren's site, so be sure to go check that out, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with anyone else you think might be interested in these bars. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.